Hey everyone, so I have one last project one last project to share with you. Probably. I don't think I'll be doing any more projects because, you know, we're packing up to move because we're going to be homeless. We're going to go stay at my extended family's cabin. My mother owns it too. My mother co-owns it, but technically it's the entire O'Neill family's cabin. So, yeah, we're packing up stuff. I'm probably going to be doing a lot of reading and cross-stitching because, you know, it's not very fun to try and craft when everything is in boxes. It's very hard to do that. I mean, half of my stuff is in boxes, and when I did this last craft project, I mean, it was really hard with just a couple things being packed away. So, we'll see how it goes. I'll probably make the effort to pull out my craft stuff if I'm making someone a special gift, but as far as, like, everyday just crafting to craft, I doubt that will be happening. So I'll be doing a lot of cross-stitching and a lot of book reading and a lot of, having conversations with my dogs, which I do anyways, but I'll be doing it while at the cabin, which may make it more interesting. I don't know. I will be doing video diaries. I think I might be. I don't know for sure. But I might be doing a video diary type thing while living at the cabin, because I think it's going to be a really interesting experience to kind of live in like a really small community with delinquent kids and angry geriatric people. Yeah. You really do feel like an outsider there. So it's like you feel like an outsider and you're surrounded by people, and then you feel completely like you're alone also. Like you're in the middle of nowhere, because you are in the middle of nowhere. It takes an hour just to get to the closest Walmart, which is pretty sad. So I'm going to be doing video diaries, and I do have another channel. This is the channel. There's no space between the A and the 3, and that's not an O, it's a 0. That's the channel I post videos of my animals on, which I haven't done in a while. I really should start doing that, which I probably will start doing that when I'm at the cabin and have nothing to do but read and cross-stitch. Yeah, so I'm a little bit hyper right now. I just got to, I was outside feeding the chickens, and it's like 2:30 in the morning right now, because I'm just really weird like that, and I feed my animals in the early morning, like 2:30 in the morning. Anyways, I had the back door open, slightly ajar, and our back fence has fallen down. So, you know, my dogs go out front, and they're put on a lead. They're not allowed out back, because then they'll just run through the giant section of fence that is down, and that we don't have money to replace, and and disappear into the night, which is what happened. My extremely chunky Shar-Pei Mix Amber, because I wasn't thinking, it didn't close the door when I had a 50-pound bag of sack feed on my shoulder, you know, sack of feed on my shoulder. I didn't think to close the door as I was struggling to hold it above my head. The food. The chicken food. Struggling to hold the chicken food above my head. Anyways, I didn't close the door, and my little 70-pound chunky dog managed to very quietly slip past me. And I came back into the house. I didn't even notice she was gone. And I was putting dinner away, because I made a spiral ham. It was really delicious. And I was calling her to come get her piece of ham, and she never came for her ham. And then her sister Dakota, who's a flat-coated retriever, she got to eat her piece of ham while I went out and looked for her. And I finally did catch her. She She was about to make a run for it when she saw me, but then stopped 15 feet because I don't think she wanted me running over her. Because once a big chunky girl catches momentum and running, it's hard for me to stop, you know. So my dogs have learned that if they don't want to get run over by a chunky girl who can't stop while she's running, basically, then they decide to surrender and give up and let me catch them. So, anyways, I got my dog back. And I was going to discipline her by not giving her a piece of ham and the homemade macaroni and cheese that I made. But, you know, she's just got these big, beautiful doe brown eyes, and she ended up getting the slice of ham and the spoonful of macaroni and cheese. She's the one dog I can't say no to. So I should you know, get started with the video on as to what I made, because that's why I started the video to begin with. Murphy, you're not being very nice. I'm trying to do a video. I'm talking about absolutely nothing, and you're making noise in your crate. He's very upset because he's in this crate because he wouldn't go to the bathroom outside. Murphy's mommy still hasn't come to pick him up. Anyways, so I'll get started now. So what I made was for my mother's friend, and her house is decorated beachy themed, you know, oceany, beachy, shells everywhere in random places, and it was her birthday like a week ago. So I decided to make her something because I'm really appreciative of having her in our lives, because I know without her, you know, my mother wouldn't be able to go to work where she's working at because it's so far away. So my mother stays with her friend for like half the week at her house because she can't drive 7 hours a day just to go to and from work. So, you know, I'm really lucky that she's a part of our lives, basically. Okay. It's been a long past couple of weeks. Let me just tell you. Okay, so what I made were these two what do you call them? Nightlights. They're oceany themed. You can see by the shells. Okay, so this is what I did. I wanted to make two identical ones, you know, identical jars at least. But I'm completely broke. I don't have any money. I couldn't go out and buy identical jars. So I ate a lot of pickles. And so these are two identical pickle jars. And I thought I got all the pickle smell out of them, but when I opened up the lids, I got a whiff of pickle. I really hope she likes the smell of pickles as much as I do. She's going to be smelling pickles when she opens up the jar. So, I ate the pickles, then I cleaned the pickle jars. And then this fabric was curtain fabric. It's Christmassy, but with it all scrunched around the jar, you can't really tell it's that Christmassy. So you can see the holly leaves and the ornaments and the Christmas tree. So I didn't want to use my lace for these jars because, you know, I love my lace and I just didn't want to use it. I used this ugly curtain fabric that I've been holding on to for whatever reason, for the sake of that I just hold on to things. And so I decided to use that, and it looks really good, I must say. And the lids, first I painted it with Alright, I don't know where I saw this tutorial or instructions. I'm pretty sure I'm not subscribed to the person. But I mixed some white paint, and because I didn't have tan paint, I mixed a lot of white paint and a little bit of brown paint and then some Mod Podge all together. This is the leftover. And then I painted the lids a couple coats until I got a solid coat. And it worked really well, because you know how if you paint onto a smooth surface, the paint's just going to chip off. But with the Mod Podge mixed into the paint, it stayed really well. And then after I did that, I put Mod Podge, I put some, you know, just plain Mod Podge on the lid, and then this was some pool filter sand I had. And that's what it looks like. In case anybody's wondering what pool filter sand is, well, it's sand, but it's synthetic sand, and they make it to put into pool filters. If you couldn't get that from the name. Pool filter sand is a lot less dusty than play sand. Like, play sand, it's like 50% dust and then 50% sand. Whereas pool filter sand, it's like 10% dust and 90% sand. So, it's like $10 for like a 50-pound bag. And I bought mine at like a hot tub supply place. I went to the Home Depot. I think it was Home Depot, but they didn't have it. And this has been like sitting on my bookshelf for about a year. So it was already nice and dry for me, because I pulled it out of one of my fish tanks, because that's why I buy it. It's for my fish. Because pool filter sand is non-magnetized. Yeah. So it was already dry for me, because I had pulled it out over a year ago to use on my gem trees. An idea I had that didn't work out. So that's what I did. I just Mod Podged and then put sand on, and then Mod Podged and put more sand on. And then I did a heavy coat of hairspray. Because like glitter, if you don't seal it, it's gonna start flaking off. So I did a heavy coat of hairspray so that the sand stayed where it was supposed to stay. And then I started layering the shells. Most of these shells came from the Dollar Tree. Except this little turbo shell here. I don't know where that came from. There's that, the turbo shell. I'm getting a little bit rusty on what kind of shells these are. Anyways, yeah, just layered the shells till I was happy with the shell layering. And then I added some glass pearls. I wish I had like, if I had like a full clamshell, I would have like opened it up slightly and then stuck a little pearl in there. But I only had a medium-ish sized clamshell and a little small clamshell, so I couldn't do that. But I just adorned the jars with some pearls here and there. Get a good look at that. And I went a little crazy with the hot glue, as you can see. But we can pretend it's like sea cucumber slime. Yeah, that's what we'll pretend it is. Sea cucumber slime. So yeah, that's my jars. And then when I was putting on the curtain fabric, once I put the rubber bands on there around the jar lid, you know, and got the fabric pulled up to where I wanted it, then I took some E6000 and lifted up the edge of the curtain fabric and rubbed E6000 along the rim of the jar so that You know, the fabric would be glued to the edge of the jar because rubber bands, they dry out and they snap. So, I figured when that eventually probably would happen, you know, there would be some extra security on top of this piece of rope I have here and this hemp jewelry cord that I have around here. And then on the front, hey, this is the hemp jewelry cord. This fabric here, this like cottony fabric, I wish I had bigger scraps of it, otherwise I could have put that around the jar instead of the Christmassy curtain fabric. But I only had small strips of it left over from my flower making. And I just glued that onto the front. And then here's a little shell. And then these were some Michael's ribbon roses that I cut the green ribbony parts off and then just glued the white flowers there. So that's my most likely last project, not including cross stitch, for quite a while. And I'm really happy with how they turned out. And these little Dollar Tree electric or battery powered tea lights are awesome. The big ones that they sell, the big candle battery operated ones, suck. But these little tea lights work really well. So, and her husband, the reason why I had to do one with a battery operated tea light, you know, instead of, the reason why I wanted to do this, I guess I should say, is because she can't have real candles in her house because her husband is like literally losing his mind. And so, you know, he's like a child. You can't have fire in the house where he can reach it. So, yeah, that's my project. If you guys don't see me online too much, it's just because, you know, I'm really busy. It's just kind of been non-stop, literally. So, you know, between going back and forth to Port Townsend to drop off stuff in the storage unit, which is 3.5 hours away, and then doing day trips up to the cabin to try and make it habitable for living, you know, because the place was totally trashed. Until we actually are done evacuating the house, technically, I'm gonna be pretty busy. So, anyways, I hope you guys like it. Or at least I like it. Guess that's all that matters. But I like it. Kind of sad I'm giving these away. I think they turned out really cute though. So I guess I'll end the video there because I'm just going to keep blabbering. And I'll talk to you guys later. Yeah. I guess that's it. Adios.